Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sean Banks. I'm the president and owner of Cash Consulting. And today I am joined by Theresa Phillips, who is the owner of Phillips Consulting Group out in San Ramon, California. Today, we're actually focused on talking about how small business owners can actually differentiate themselves and their businesses. So that being said, I would like to give time to Theresa to introduce herself and talk about more about what she does before we get into today's conversation. So Theresa, thank you again for taking the time to join me today. No, can you just introduce us to you and your business?
Sure. Thank you, Sean. And thank you for the opportunity to join your group. I'm Theresa Phillips and the owner and founder of Phillips Consulting Group. And it started about 8 years ago. Prior to that, I was an HR professional for over 20 years in the space of workplace investigations primarily and other human resources functions. I semi-retired about 7 years ago and started my own consulting firm, and I focus on leadership and executive coaching. I do that also, but my real niche is conflict resolution, conflict mediation, helping people who are in conflict how to step through so that the at the end of the conversation, both parties can have a agreement that they both respect and will move forward.
Okay, nice. Awesome. So with that being said, Teresa, today's focus is on differentiation. And for anybody who watches this video, I do have an article on differentiation and I also have a YouTube video on my channel that talks more about how as a business owner you can differentiate. But I want to hear from you, Teresa. What does differentiation means to you?
Thank you, Sean. And I want to encourage others to go to a YouTube video. It's very, very good. And you give a lot of really good points. For me, differentiation is finding your niche. It's not about joining um, others with similar opportunities. It's about really narrowing and focus on what you give to your client. Say, for example, for me, I'm going to talk about my coaching piece. There are a lot of very qualified coaches out there, but my coaching is specifically to executives and leadership. So it's very narrowly focused. Being also narrowly focused to conflict resolution mediation, very narrow. Sometimes owners get very broad thinking, oh, I will attract a lot of people if I keep my base of what I want, what I'm doing large in scope. That's really should be the opposite. Get a niche, be known for that, and move in that direction.
Nice. And if you don't mind me asking, how long did it take you to figure out that your niche was actually working with executives?
When I was in the corporate environment, I worked with executives and leaders on conflict and problems in their work groups and their teams conducting investigations. So I knew that that was something that I really honed in on because I knew it was important. Everyone has a story and they
Yep.
just want to be heard. A lot of times the allegations were not substantiated, but it was the important thing that you take the time to hear what the person has to say. And that really made a lot of difference. So I knew there was a space for that. That's where my heart was.
Mm.
That's what led me to move into the space eventually on my own to be a coach, one, and then to also do mediation.
Awesome. Now, in my article in the video, I did mention that there's a few different ways that small businesses can differentiate. And that can be from price, it could be from the service, it could be their employees, it could be um, see, it could be also like who they partner with as well. Now, I know for your business specifically, we talk about how it is your specific niche that helps you differentiate. Is there other areas that you're differentiated or are you planning to differentiate?
You know, one of the things you said in your article was pricing. Sometimes small business owners, especially if you're first starting out, you want to be the lowest priced person in your niche. That's often a mistake
Yep.
because if someone is reaching out to you to talk to you, you are already in their mind qualified and you are the expert in whatever your field is. So step into that. If you want to do something as a service that is free for you to practice, that's one thing. But when you start getting clients, price yourself at your worth. That's what they're going to expect, and that's what they're going to want. Because if you're priced too low, they'll say, I wonder if that person really knows, what they're doing. They really are priced too low. I think I'm going to go mid-range or even high range. But I think a lot of new business owners price themselves too low. Their value is there. Share it and getting feedback from the client. What resonated with you? What worked with you? How it was working with me? Getting feedback. That's golden, and that will help you to continue to propel your business. But don't underprice yourself.
I completely agree with that too. I've actually met a few new business owners that started their business and they claim that they're the lowest priced within their local area. And sometimes I just want to ask them, well, because you're the lowest price, let me ask you, how many customers does it take to actually for you to break even or even to pay for your expenses? Sometimes being that low cost leader can be good, but it really just
Mhm.
depends on the space that you're in. But you also have to be mindful of how much expenses that you have. And you also got to be mindful of how your value is perceived by the clients that you're trying to bring on. So I'm glad that you actually brought that up as being a price, being a way to differentiate your business, because a lot of small business owners do make that mistake. And I'm hoping that anybody that's watching this video, that they don't make the same mistake in thinking that just because they're the lowest out there means it's going to attract more clients. That's not the case. Um, so that's very good advice. And Theresa, again, um, what are some other ways do you differentiate in your business? Or are there ways that you plan to differentiate in the future?
I really like the personal touch. So getting to know people who are uh, in your line of work, coaching or mediation in my case, and either partner with them, introduce yourself to them, get to know them. What attracted them to that line of work? How did they get started? Just talk with them. I know in the post-COVID world, there's a lot of times that Zoom can be your friend by getting on a Zoom call and just talking with them, about that. Volunteer for things. That's another way to get to know people. Join a team if you can. That's another way to join people and differentiate yourself. And when the time comes for you to talk about what you do, just a couple of simple things, sentences to let them know, what you do. One of the things I have said in mediation is that I help parties who are in conflict to walk together with a mutually satisfying agreement. Something very simple. Oh, okay. Well, tell me more. And that engage with the person for them to find out what you do more of without talking to them 3, 4, 5 minutes when they're really,
Yeah.
not interested in that. They want to tell you about them. So
Yep.
show a genuine interest, care about what someone is doing. People don't, there's not enough of that, I think, because a lot of times small business owners are so busy trying to sell their product or their service, they forget about the end user, which is the client.
Exactly. They always care about what's in it for them. However, it has to be the other way around. What's in it for the client?
What's next for the client? What is the client going to gain? That's really where the key is.
Nice. So with that being said, my last question for you, Theresa, is there any other advice that you would provide to a small business owner who's looking to differentiate?
Know what you do and do it well. Really do it well. Go above and beyond the expectation for your service, whatever it is. And don't forget to ask them for feedback at the end of the time that you've worked with them. Would you mind giving me a little bit of feedback, how you liked my service? Would you consider giving me a referral? That really says a lot. And that's the way to build that ongoing business. That person may not have a need at the time, but they may run across a client and they'll say, "Oh, I remember that Teresa said such and such and such. I'm going to give her a call or I'm going to connect Teresa to this person." But genuineness, keep your niche small, not large. Specialize and be the very best that you can be, that you are with whatever you are doing. And don't worry about the rest of the competition because you will shine.
Definitely, I completely agree with that one. With that being said, Theresa, I want to thank you again for taking a few minutes to come and actually talk about differentiation with me for small business owners. With that being said, can you share with us the best website or contact information for anybody to reach out to you?
Oh, sure. My website is Theresa.Phillips Consulting at gmail.com. And from there on my website, you can click on schedule a free consultation, schedule free time just to talk to me. If you have any follow-up questions about what we talked about today, I am always welcome to open to talking to anyone. I had people when I was in the corporate environment that still contact me. Other people that I've worked with in coaching or investigations or mediation contact me. I love it because if I can help someone else to one not have to make the same mistakes and not have to go the slow train, but accelerate their learning and their growth. That warms my heart. And that makes me feel like, okay, here's one more person. I can be able to give them the stick so that they can continue to run and move and do what they want to do. Again, that website is Therese. Oh, sorry. Website is Theresa dot Theresa.Phillips Consulting at gmail at co.com. No, really, I don't talk about my website that often.
No, you're fine. And for those who watch this
Okay.
video, I will have Teresa's website information in the show notes as well. That way you can visit her website and see exactly what she does in case you need a mediator for your business. Also, for those who are watching, just to remind you all, we do have the 3R Summit coming up July 25th. This is a free virtual summit for business owners to get help in marketing, mindset, technology, sales, and also business finance. If you could use any help in any of those areas I just mentioned, then you need to be at that summit. It's completely free, and we do have a VIP option as well for those who want to get the recordings. And we also have 2 ebooks that come with that VIP offer to actually help you better optimize your business. So that being said, I look forward to seeing everybody at the 3R Summit who watched this video. Hopefully you got something from this video as well. And with that being said, I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks, Theresa, for joining.
Thank you so much, Sean.